Good day, everyone. Krista here to talk briefly about signs your friends or family of MK and SRA are guilty. Here are some signs that I've noticed. Would love to hear from you if you want to share, if you're willing to share in the comments, the signs that you've spotted once you've gone no contact and left your handlers. For me, key sign number one was when I backed off and went no contact or gray rocked. Gray rocking in psychology is going low contact, need to know information only. Sign number one was they whitewashed their social media. They purged a lot of files. They deleted the files. They burned them up. They burned up the evidence. They purged Facebook majorly. They only left like 25% or less of their posts. Um, and this was an individual I don't even see as a key handler, but guilty by association. Sign number two, they will change names on their accounts or social media accounts. So you can find them or you can't find them because they didn't use their first and last name, but they create a variation of that name, or they create a different name altogether that makes them harder to find. Sign number three, they go to lengths of monitoring others and their immediate environment because they are paranoid. Why are they paranoid? Well, one is because they're a handler. They're handling, that person handled not only me, but now they're handling their offspring. So these individuals are grossly paranoid about information getting out. And they should be paranoid because they are guilty of their crimes. And so, enslaving a person through mind control and ritual abuse is a crime. And so this individual went to lengths of mirroring her own daughter's phone and then saying to me, let's only communicate on Facebook about the engagement surprise because I'm afraid if you message my phone, she'll get it. I'm like, well, how's your daughter going to get my message? I'm messaging your phone, not hers. Oh, I'm just afraid. Well, some of these people are not are not technically savvy, so they don't understand somebody else help them mirror the phone, and they don't understand technology, and they're paranoid as all get out. So that's number three. They monitor others, they monitor their flying monkeys and the people that they're handling the new generation. Sign number four is the cult groups will send in new people, new fake friends, whether they're in your meeting environment or in online prayer communities and groups where, like, say you're on an SRA group or a prayer group, they will send in people to try to befriend you. You might exchange phone numbers, and those individuals will have a similar or same name of a previous person who was a handler who knows all of your code words, the keywords that trigger and activate a person. They know those words. They'll know the hand signs. They have a whole download because these organizations have so much money. They have the resources are vast. They easily train and ramp up other people with all of those names, those nicknames. They'll one woman in a church group, so much as like after the women's prayer Bible study group, you know, threw out a name that no woman should know or throw out, like about, like casually saying, referring to her cat as this particular name. And that was a name, that was a code word that I had. So they will have all your code words and they will go by similar names and they will know a lot about you, but in subtle ways. But it's not like coming directly at you. And you have to really have your ears perked up to that to know. The only way to overcome this is knowing Jesus Christ and being saved to overcome. We overcome all by the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony. And that's the way we overcome mind control as well. Um, and that's it. I'd say the same name, the same words, the code words, sending in people who look similar or who have the same name, some sort of similarities to try to handle a person. They like to do that. One thing I want to add that's not fully related to this is like jealous people. Why do people put people on lists for targeting or to continue to handle them? You know, if it's a family member, there's usually one person who's super jealous. And it's not because necessarily a person has more than they have. They just have a jealous spirit that's possessed their body, their human flesh. And the spirit of jealousy, one of the spirits of jealousy and envy is Beelzebub. So I know I've seen some people like their prayers around like rebuking and casting out the spirit of flies, insects, and Beelzebub is tied to that. That's one of the three unholy, like they said, the unholy trinity is Lucifer, Ashtaroth, and Beelzebub. I think Baal is a version of Beelzebub. But if you're on a target individual list and you're an MK Ultra survivor, odds are somebody not only wants to continue to control and manipulate your life, but there's somebody that's really jealous of you. And so I would encourage people to pray against that spirit of jealousy that is in your family line or your bloodline, to try to root that out altogether of the family line to get free of that. Because as long as that spirit of envy is there, because look at King Saul after David for 10 years, stalking him, and David had to go into hiding, right? Hiding caves. Saul was jealous. It was a spirit of envy that had taken over Saul, that totally possessed him. And that spirit will harass, it will stalk. Um, that spirit of envy is also a stalking spirit. Witches might be, jealous or envious of a Christian because Christians, they can see glory, the light on people and the gifts of people. They don't want to be a Christian, but they want to steal that because they're envious. So it's a spirit of jealousy, of envy, and I would pray against it. So I kind of went off on a tangent at the end there, but those are some of the things that I've witnessed. I'd love to hear from you, what you've witnessed, if you're willing to share publicly in the comments section. And thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.